Hey guys, this is Eric from Figure Unboxing, and in this video, we're going to take a look at Ultra-Act cross S.H.Figuarts Ace Suit from Ultraman. Again, I haven't read the manga yet. I've heard a lot of good stuff about it. I'm gonna try to find time and read it, but for now, I'm just gonna enjoy the figure. Anytime there's interchangeable head, really cool armor, I'm gonna be there. It's my cup of tea. So here's the left of the box. Here is the right of the box, and here is the back of the box. And you can see the packaging is really consistent with the other two. Let's not waste any more time and bust this thing open and see what we got. Alright, so here we have the figure still in there in the packaging, and it looks really nice. And the amount of accessories it came with seems fair. I like how they include another faceplate. They didn't do that for the first Ultraman. Let's check out the figure itself. Alright, so here we have the figure itself, and my first impression is that this figure is a lot better than the previous two in terms of the quality. I'm not sure what it is, but the previous two felt a little bit cheap, especially 7.2, which I sold it already. But this one has really good sculpt. I love the paintwork. I especially like the darker color they chose over here. I do have Ultraman over here to compare. This one is a lot more shiny, and this one just, feels... I don't know, it just feels more premium, like for some reason. I love the translucent plastic they use in the eyes as well. Let's take a closer look at all these detail. I do have some paint bleeding over here, which is okay. Yeah, it looks very, very nice. I like it. And let's jump straight into the articulation. Alright, so for the articulation, I haven't messed with the figure as long as I want to, but let's quickly go over it from the neck down. It should be using all the latest technology from Bandai. He can look up about this much, look down about this much, he can turn his head no problem, and the shoulder can raise up quite high actually. Like this doesn't even get into the way. Like you can swivel over here, and let me just kind of show you guys like how the joints function over here. It has a hinge and a ball joint over there. So yeah, this looks a little bit awkward, but you can always hide it. And you can curl about this much, and you do have the ball wrist, but due to the design on the character, like it's got all that armor, so you can't really move all too well. But that's okay. That's just like a character design thing. And you can have some really decent range for the ab crunch. Bend backwards about this much, bend forward about this much, like with the hip. And you do have movement over here. It's on a really big ball joint. And I assume you have the pull down joints, right? No, he doesn't. Wait, no. Oh yeah, he does. It's just really, really stiff. Yeah, so we do have the older pull down, and you can swivel over here. Yeah, I think the range is actually pretty nice despite all this armor. And you can bend his leg about this much, and you do have the side-to-side pivot, right? Yeah, this is a really cool design. It's like a really big ball joint, and it just got a lot of range. And you can have some toe hinge, and I think that's it for the articulation. I don't think he has any pop-out shoulder or anything. Let me just try to pull on it. Yeah, it doesn't. So yeah, that's it for the articulation, and let's jump straight into the accessories. Alright, so for the accessories, let us start with the interchangeable head. It's very nicely painted and sculpted. As expected from Bandai, it just looks very, very good. And this is probably the main reason why I got the figure. I barely know anything about the manga, but I'm just a really big fan of action figures, and S.H.Figuarts just does a really, really good job. I love it. Alright, so next up he came with one interchangeable shouting face, which looks really good as well. And I'm actually really glad that they gave us another faceplate, because they didn't do this for Ultraman, and hopefully they can do this more in the future. More accessories is always welcome. Alright, so next up we have a pair of relaxed open hands, and they look very good, of course. Let me just kind of show you guys the close-up look on the hands. Very nicely sculpted and detailed. I really like the paint on it. It looks really good. Actually, I took another look on my interchangeable hands, and the paintwork on mine is actually really crappy. I'm just gonna pretend this is battle damage. Alright, so next up we have a pair of karate chopping hands, and the paintwork on these are a little bit nicer, and yeah, I like it. And I think these are meant to be used with a blade or something over here. Let's check that out. Alright, so next up he came with a pair of interchangeable forearms, and these are not too difficult to do, but it is a little bit annoying though. You gotta take this part off, and then you have to like change this part. And let me just show you guys what it looks like if I change it back. It's just like a strip like that. So yeah, you gotta interchange that. But yeah, that's pretty cool though. Alright, so lastly he came with his finishing move, and it's a really nice piece of translucent plastic, very nicely sculpted. And before you use this, you have to change his wrist. And again, nothing is too difficult, it's just a little bit annoying. I already have it on here. Let me just kind of show you guys by popping this off. Yeah, that's all you have to do. Just like put this in, and then you can see like the peg hole over there. And let's try it out. Alright, so here we have him assemble with the finishing move, and it looks pretty good. And this is actually really hard to pull off. Like, you have to really play around with the angle. And I'm not too familiar with the character, so I don't know what the right angle is. And yeah, still looks pretty good though. I really like it. Anyways, that's it for the accessories, and let's jump straight into the size comparison. Alright, so for the size comparison, let us start with Ultraman and Masco 112 Punisher and Daredevil. And as you guys can see, they are a little bit bigger than S.H.Figuarts. Alright, so next up we have the S.H.Figuarts Awakening Goku and Gohan, and it looks pretty good. And then we have the Vulcan Lock Spider-Man and Diamond Select Venom. Alright, so next up we have the S.H.Figuarts Naruto figures, and I know a lot of you are going to ask me about the Naruto robe. I got it from an eBay seller, but I can't remember his name from the top of my head. Do let me know in the comments if you're interested, but the last time I checked, he's all sold out. But anyways, it looks pretty good though. Alright, so next up we have the S.H.Figuarts Captain Phasma, Obi-Wan, Hawkeye, and Joker. Alright, so lastly we have some recent Figma figures, and let's jump straight into the final thoughts. Oops, how can I forget about Kamen Riders? Alright, so overall, I think the figure is pretty good. And like I mentioned earlier, I think I like it better than the previous two. And I think it's mainly because of the paintwork. The previous two felt a little bit cheap, and this one just looks really, really good. And I think that's it from me. And do let me know in the comments what you guys think. But I think this one's got a good amount of accessories, good paintwork, good sculpt. And the articulation is really good. Like, you can actually see improvements. But anyways, I'll see you guys next time. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.